Good evening and welcome to True Crimes Documentaries. Tonight we'll talk about the notorious case and story of the Menendez brothers. This case has emerged once again, with many revisiting and bringing attention to it. Many are debating or questioning whether or not the Menendez brothers should stay in jail or should be released from jail. But with new light being brought to the situation, the Menendez brothers are hoping that with new evidence, they can retrial and hopefully be released from jail. But before we get into what's going on now, let's talk about some background information. Here's both Eric Menendez and Lionel Menendez, who are commonly referred to as the Menendez brothers. These two are known for their conviction of first-degree murder on both of their parents. According to Wikipedia, the night of the murder was August 20th, 1989, where both Jose Menendez and Mary Menendez, also known as Kitty Menendez, were shot and killed in their Beverly Hills mansion. Jose was shot a total of 6 times, including a fatal shot to the back of his head, and Kitty Menendez was shot 15 times, which ultimately led to her death. After both these deaths, the Menendez brothers dialed 911, screaming, "Someone killed my parents." This caused police to rush to the crime scene. Investigators interrogated both the brothers, in which they replied and said that they had went to the movies and came home to find both their parents dead. Police had no reason to believe that these two were suspects to the crime or were in any relation to it. This was until the two brothers went on a huge shopping spree, spending money on things such as restaurants, cars, Rolexes, and even a new tennis coach. According to CBS News, they spent a total of $700,000. But this wasn't what led to their arrest. In one of their therapy sessions, the two brothers confessed to killing both of their parents. Their therapist then confided in his girlfriend, which went to the police and turned in a recording of their confession. This ultimately led to their arrest. The two brothers were arrested March 8th, 1990, and were put on trial. Their first trial began July 20th, 1993, and they were tried together again on August 21st, 1995. During their trial, they shared that they were fearful that their father would kill them after threatening to expose him for years of emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. Their trial then ended July 2nd, 1996, and they found out their verdict. And their verdict was guilty and sentenced to life without possibility of parole. The Menendez brothers' case became one of the most famous cases as media shared their story. There is no doubt that they had killed their parents, but why they did and if it was reasonable is still questioned to this day. There have been many new movies and documentaries that have come out sharing their story on both the brothers in the case. There's a new movie called Monsters, which some argue is inaccurate, but it's from the perspective of both the brothers and the story behind the case. There's also a documentary called The Menendez Brothers, where there's interviews between the brothers, and they share more information and facts about the case. There's also many social media platforms where opinions are formulating, and many share their thoughts and opinions on the case. Platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X have brought up this case multiple times recently. I still forget. I don't know. The Menendez brothers are hoping, once again, to reopen the case. But for now, they remain in jail where they have spent 30 years and where unfortunately they will continue to spend the rest of their life sentence, which for them is life. Thank you again for joining me, And I hope now you are more informed about the case of the Menendez brothers and some facts and information behind it. Woo.